Coming up in our newscast tonight, we take you on a tour through the most important projects of Buea Diocese as months counts out to 2025 celebration of the 75th anniversary of the diocese. From the Co-Cathedral Pastoral Center, Multipurpose Hall, and even the new convent. Also, basic education inspectors tour first school living certificate examination centers to assess the conduct of the examinations in Buea. And Belgian coach Mark Brees and his squad intensify training ahead of the crucial encounter with Cape Verde this June 8 in Yaoundé amidst the misunderstandings between Fecafoot and the Ministry of Sport. Tonight we explore the stakes. Good evening and welcome to Divine Mercy Primer. Those were the lead stories for tonight's newscast. Their full readouts and more will be yours in a moment. We take off from our project file where we update you weekly on the ongoing projects in the Diocese of Buea as a build-up to the 75th anniversary celebration come 2025. At the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral Moliko, work continues to give it the befitting and desirable look it deserves for the grandiose event. Our reporter, Joseph Otto, made a stop at the project site earlier today and now paints a picture of how the Co-Cathedral currently looks like.
It was first a dream, but it is gradually becoming a reality as the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral Moliko of the Diocese of Buea is near completion thanks to the effort made by His Lordship Michael Bibi, his collaborators and Christians of goodwill. Looking forward to the 75th anniversary celebration of the Diocese of Buea come 2025, finishing touches continue to go on at the Co-Cathedral, which will in some months ahead be a suitable place of worship. To ensure a wide and beautiful view for Christians during the celebration of Mass, the installation of light-emitting diode screens in the cathedral has begun, which will serve a great deal as a technician highlight.
This is going to be extremely useful to the population, to those who come here to worship, because the population here is quite great. And when people sit upstairs, for example, here to worship, and they don't have an idea of what is happening, perhaps what the Father is doing up there, or maybe something was going on down and the people up are not seeing. But today, with the coming of these screens, any events that is going on, no matter which corner it is in the church, it is going to be seen everywhere. Like the people sitting here, they will not have a problem to see maybe a certain program was going on downstairs. They can see it here live.
Meanwhile, as other construction works go on, painters on their part are putting in work and expertise at a rapid rate, giving the color and beauty the Co-Cathedral deserves. Thanks to the benevolence of Christians in and out of the diocese, the beautifully crafted benches of the church is evident too, as the carpenters involved are working tirelessly to ensure the total of 420 benches, which will provide the perfect place for worship for Christians. Other construction works going on at the vicinity of the Co-Cathedral comprise the building of a fence, installation of lights and sound systems. When all is said and done, it is hoped that come 2025, the celebration of the 75th anniversary will be celebrated hitch-free at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral.
Meanwhile, as construction works continues at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, the second block of the Pastoral Center, the Diocesan Multipurpose Hall, as well as the new convent and chapel are already taking shape. Let's meet Joseph once more, who has details in the following report.
At the foot of Mount Fako, in the heart of the Diocese of Buea, are various ongoing projects like the Bishop Pius Awa Memorial Pastoral Center, a diocesan hall, a convent and a chapel, which in the nearest future will be a befitting place for leisure and spiritual upliftment. After the completion of Block A of the Pastoral Center, the completion of a portion of the second building of the cutting-edge Bishop Pius Awa Memorial Pastoral Center, the first of its kind in the diocese, is almost complete as the first coat of painting has begun, the tiling of rooms and installation of balusters at the balconies. As work continued to go on, the contractors of the second building are optimistic of work done so far.
So this is where I'm working in Calister. I've already do a finishing, plastering and dressing. So all things okay. So I thank my boss who bring me here. I do a good job and also appreciated the job. So I'm very happy. It's plastering, just painting. After painting, as soon as they already put the dice. This is the first coat. Second coat is coming there, the finishing.
The only thing that is left in the work is painting. They just finish the plastering and they are putting the frames. Everything is going on, even the electrical work. I think it's only painting that is remaining to complete the remaining.
With the multipurpose hall, which will be a place for diocesan event, the roof contractor explains work done so far and when it is expected to finish.
So we don't go far with the roof. So they're now on Poline. And from Poline we'll go to the pressure board. From pressure board, finish with the pressure board, go for the zinking. So by next week, the zinking will be started. So for now, we design the front. As the front go on, now where we finish the front, we'll go for the pressure board for framer. After framing, then when we finish the framing, we go to the gutters. When we finish with the gutters, we start the zinking immediately. So the work will go.
At the convent and chapel structures, the fitting of windows has begun, as well as the plastering of walls, in which the contractor says in due time will be available for use.
For now, we are complete with the block work, with the convent and the chapel up. Now we are starting the plastering. We are done with our fittings of protectors and iron doors. So now we are about to start our plastering, of which we have already started. Waiting for the roof. They have to put this roof, then after we put the floor and the final finishing of the convent and the chapel. Now you can give us 1.5 more. We deliver you with the project. For now we are not facing any challenges. Only that some of our workers are not feeling so well, as Buea is new to them. But with time, everything will be possible.
When all is said and done, it is hoped that this project of the diocese will be used conducively and effectively by not only Christians of the Diocese of Buea, but the entire community.
In education, primary schools across Cameroon have sat in for the first school leaving certificate examination this Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. This first school leaving certificate is the most important certificate to attain upon completion of primary education, which thus integrates the pupils into secondary schools. In the Buea subdivision, pupils sat in for the examination at their various centers with an atmosphere of calm. Details with Nadeshme from our newsroom, who made a stop at some centers this day.
It was about 6:45 a.m. that parents started tripping into the various centers with their children for the written part of the first school leaving certificate examination. By 7:45 a.m., all was set for the examination to kick off at 8 a.m. with mathematics and English language program for the morning session, while ICT and sports were to follow suit in the afternoon session. Chief of Center of some institutions now makes an appraisal of general atmosphere of the examination.
I'm the chief invigilator for this center, Muyuka CS. We started at normal time at 8 o'clock. The atmosphere is calm, nothing disturbing. The children, if not all came, we had 5 absentees, 2 males and 3 females. Out of the 48 male and 31 females. A total of 79 children are writing in this center. The place is calm.
We have an enrollment of 486 candidates who registered the exams, but those who sat for the exam, 481, 5 were absent. So we are still trying to see how the exam will go. They have started with paper 1 and 2. There is no problem for now. As the children are all there prepared because they have taught them, they are preparing to go to Form 1. Everybody is present, ready for the exams. So the exam is going free without any problem.
On their part, some invigilators evaluate the conduct of the pupils in the course of the examination.
It shows that the children were prepared because we have finished with paper 1. Some children finished first and said it was very simple. But for now, we don't really know who are writing the paper 2.
The general conduct is fair, is good. The children came on time. Just one school that came a bit late, but we had not started at that time. So all of them came early and good. As of now that I'm talking, no eventuality has happened. We have just 5 absentees in this center.
The Education Secretary of the Diocese of Buea, Reverend Father Vincent Mesue, made a stop at some of these centers and advised the pupils to remain zealous and committed to their studies.
This is an integration, where they are given another opportunity if they are successful from leaving primary school, and then of course secondary school is more challenging. It's more challenging, and so they need to understand that it's no longer primary school. You might be introduced into so many things. Now in secondary school, there is a lot of expectation from them, which means we'll demand more commitment. We'll demand them to be a little bit zealous, to be people who love book, and then in that way, it'll be easier for them to go through the secondary school.
For 2 days, the pupils will be giving back to their teachers what they have been able to learn for the past 6 years. To some, this will mark the beginning of a new academic journey to secondary schools.
Still on the first school leaving certificate examination, some inspectors from the Ministry of Basic Education have visited over 10 centers in Buea subdivision. Their visit earlier today was to assess and evaluate the conduct and the atmosphere surrounding the examinations. Let's get more with Jamilatu Tontang.
As the first school leaving certificate of education kick-started today, an inspection tour to the various centers by a team of inspectors from the Ministry of Basic Education visited about 10 centers so as to confirm the security conditions as well as to cross-check the conducts carried out as the candidates sat in writing. In an interview with one of the team members, Dr. Kengasu William Oben, he said their expectations were high concerning the state of the examination as they look forward to having a hit-free writing session for the candidates. Meanwhile, he also expressed his satisfaction towards the conducts carried out during the examination session.
Our expectations are high concerning the stakes of the examination, knowing that instructions have been dished out by the Minister of Basic Education concerning the conduct of this exam. We are expecting that the exams should go hitch-free. We are expecting that the children should write in a conducive atmosphere without any threats from the unknowns. So we also expect that the exam should have started well from the start and should end at the appropriate time.
In the other hand, Mr. Fu Alberto Che, member of the Secretariat of GCE, shared on how he envisaged the candidates come early enough, which they did, but for one pupil who was noticed absent for the day.
Noted, everybody was present, but for one candidate, yes. So with regards to that, everything was okay. And then from that 8 o'clock till now, everything has been going on smoothly. We expected the timetable and display of papers and everything.
It was an effective and successful first day for the First School Living Certificate of Education pupils, and tomorrow will be the round-off session as they will be cutting their teeth and dotting their I's to say goodbye to the classrooms as far as this level of education for them is concerned.
The Nursery and Primary School here in Buea has celebrated 10 years of existence. The celebration took place over the weekend at the campus of the school. Ex-pupils, friends, family members, as well as well-wishers joined the proprietress Madame Gala Scholastica to celebrate this anniversary. More on this story with our reporter Njamilatu Tontang.
This display graced the 10th anniversary celebration of Vox Day Bilingual Nursery and Primary School, Saturday, June 1st, 2024, as ex-students, friends, family, and well-wishers joined the proprietress Ngala Scholastical to thank God for its existence. This academic institution is renowned for its excellence as it turned 10 years. The turnout of the population at the institution is a testament to the impact the school has imparted to the lives of the pupils and the community at large.
I was being enrolled into this institution in the year 2013 and I left in the year 2020. This school has done a lot in our lives and we graduated in this institution, the 14 of us. Now they have 25 students going to Form 1. Actually, when I was being enrolled into this institution, I was not bold as I am, but this institution helped me a lot because now I'm bold. Now I'm attending Bishop Dispetas Memorial College in Fango. This institution really helped me a lot.
I congratulate all the teachers that got my daughter from nursery to class 6.
Despite these positive impacts the institution has made in the lives of the pupils and parents, 10 years journey on a personal basis has been a sweet and bitter one for the proprietress Ngala Scholastica.
I had a lot of challenges running this institution. The payment of fees is a very big challenge in this neighborhood. The proliferation of other schools around. There are about 5 schools around, so there is a lot of competition, and I'm happy to be part of this celebration.
The proprietress of this institution could not contain the joy this moment as she expressed her love and gratitude to all who made it possible for the anniversary. She gave a keynote word calling on the parents and teachers to always remain faithful to the services granted by the institution to the community.
We have tried as much as possible not to take the children only through the classroom type of teaching. We have gone out of the classroom setting. We run a farm. There is a farm project in the school, and you see the children have harvested maize, they have harvested carrots, they have harvested cucumber, cabbage, and that is just all. I want the public to know that Vox Day is a place to be. We have not only achieved as such. When I went through the results of this year in the Buea Town Center, for instance, where these children wrote, the first on the list is a child from Vox Day. The second is a child from Vox Day. The fourth is a child from Vox Day. Even the fifth and overall performance in the region, the child from Vox Day is a 5th and 6th position. So I think it's a lot of achievement, and this gives us the booster to go ahead to begin the 11th year with more encouragement, let me say it. We have been encouraged to work harder, and we shall one day produce honor rolls too.
Okay. Vox Day Bilingual Nursery and Primary School has again been proven beyond reasonable doubt to be a great ladder for the young ones, as it scored 100% in the just released Common Entrance examination, with the overall regional top 5 in the Southwest region from the institution.
In sports, The indomitable Lions of Cameroon are already fine-tuning their tactics for the encounter against the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde this Saturday. They began camping on Sunday, June 2nd, where they were welcomed in a tense atmosphere at the Hilton Hotel in Yaoundé. In the upcoming reports, Hilarion Clinton from our sports desk takes a look at a similar situation surrounding Cameroon's football that occurred in 2007. Let's follow this report.
As exhumations continued on Monday in a Kenyan forest where hundreds of victims of a doomsday cult were found buried last year, 7 more bodies were discovered. The government.
Strange and shambolic are now the most common adjectives applicable in describing the present administrative loggerheads in Cameroon's football sector. Strange to those born within 2008 to 2024, but football enthusiasts who are versed with the country's football history will proudly narrate a similar situation in 2007 when the then Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Augustin Anjoua, appointed German tactician Otto Fiesta coach of the national team. These at the dislike of the then president of Fecafoot, Iya Mohammed. The Fecafoot boss by then denied endorsing the contract of Otto, but rather worked with him for the good of the country's football. Cameroonians are here again, faced with the same situation, but a different approach has been taken. The battle between Fecafoot and the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education has reached a situation that many never thought it could.
Mon lieu de travail, et vous me connaissez très bien. Ici, vous n'avez pas parole. Quand je viens au ministère, je vous respecte. Ici, je suis le seul patron. Et vous ne le faites pas, monsieur Ndolo. C'est la dernière fois. Je vous interdis de lever le ton. C'est la dernière fois. Monsieur Ndolo, appelez-moi la sécurité, vous le mettez dehors. C'est la dernière fois, vous avez compris.
After the sunless night Hilton Hotel scenario, where both the minister's appointed technical bench and that of Fecafoot clash as to whom was to receive the players, Fecafoot in a communique declared its non-involvement in the Lions' preparatory exercise as the minister's appointed staff remain in control. The rift between these two bodies have left the players in a very bad situation, some of them in the likes of Nicolas Momengalame, to pen on his Instagram handle stating how honored they are to be playing for the team and the responsibility of wearing the Lions jersey. He called on the members of the national team to keep the apolitical nature of the team and ensure a healthy climate around them. A call that seems timely, but doubts remain as to whether it was received by those concerned. The Lions have already ticked a successful record on the 3rd session of their training as Cameroon takes on the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde come Saturday, June 8th. Uncertainty clouds the team's prospect for the game. The fate of Cameroon football hangs on balance, but the question of which technical team will be with Mark Breeze and his boys come Saturday's encounter remains unanswered.
The first ever Korea-Africa Summit begins in South Africa with over 28 African countries participating. The summit aims at boosting cooperation ties with Africa, and more dead bodies have been exhumed from the Shakahola forest in Kenya. The exhumation exercise started last year after a pastor allegedly forced his followers to fast in order to meet Christ. Matilda Beaton with details of this foreign story.
As exhumations continued on Monday in a Kenyan forest where hundreds of victims of a doomsday cult were found buried last year, 7 more bodies were discovered. The government paused the exhumations last year to allow for DNA matching of the bodies. So far, only 34 of the victims have been identified. The 7 bodies discovered adds to the total number of 436 people on Earth from mass graves. The first bodies were discovered in April 2023 in the Shakahalo forest near the Kenyan coast. The pastor, Paul Mackenzie, is alleged to have led his followers to starve to death in order to meet Jesus Christ. Mackenzie has pleaded not guilty to 191 counts of murder, manslaughter, and terrorism. The African National Congress ANC on Monday confirmed it will hold a National Executive Committee meeting to decide on the constitution of government this week. The party's leader, Cyril Ramaphosa, seeks a second term but would need the support of other parties after ANC lost its majority in parliament. According to many political analysts, the ANC has a range of potential partners, but no deal would be easy. The Democratic Alliance is aligned with ANC, but this coalition is yet to prove successful as both parties have shown irreconcilable views on a range of key issues. The new parliament needs to sit for the first time and elect a president within 14 days of the results being declared. Representatives from 48 African countries are attending the first ever Korea-Africa Summit. The two-day talks, which opened this Tuesday, June 4th, are expected to focus on trade, technology, and investment. Through this summit, South Korea intends to boost cooperation with Africa by expanding the official development assistance program known as ODA to around $10 billion come 2030. South Korea also intends to encourage trade and investment in the region in the areas of minerals and resources by providing $14 billion in export financing. South Korea's outreach to the continent comes at a time when her neighbor, North Korea, seeks to break out of diplomatic isolation.
That report on our forum page concludes Divine Mercy Prime tonight. But before we let go of you, let's review the headlines once more. In our newscast tonight, we took you on a tour through the most important projects of the Buea Diocese as months count out on the 2025 celebration of the 75th anniversary of the diocese, from the Co-Cathedral, Pastoral Center, Multipurpose Hall, and even the new convent. Also, Basic Education Inspectors tour first school leaving certificate examination centers to assess the conduct of the examinations in Buea. And Belgian coach Mark Brace and his squad intensify training ahead of a crucial encounter with Cape Verde this June 8 in Yaoundé amidst misunderstandings between Fecafoot and the Ministry of Sports. Tonight we did explore the stakes. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching Divine Mercy Prime. Stay tuned and remain glued for more interesting educative programs at DMR TV. While wishing you a restful evening, we wish to call on you to remain glued, for up next we shall have Mountain Echoes. Good night.